How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Voro Motors. I'm AJ Hart, here today with a new guide to maintain your ride. For today's video, I've got a double feature going on. I'm teaching you how to replace the kickstand for the Cruiser and the Touring. Now, this is a really easy job on both of these scooters, right? But why would you need to do it? Maybe you karate kicked your kickstand too hard and so you just snapped it off. Maybe you hit a bump, maybe you lost one of the screws or the nuts on it and it just came loose, right? Little wear and tear kind of damages. Worry not, these are really easy to replace. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna take care of the Touring first, and then we'll jump over to the Cruiser. And we're gonna replace the kickstand on both of these. The things that I used for this job, for the Touring, were just a set of Allen keys and a pair of needle nose pliers. And for the Cruiser, I ended up using a pair of Allen keys and a set of long tongs, which sounds silly, but you'll see later on. So, without much more ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Let's start with the Touring. For the Touring, the kickstand is held by these two screws here. If you flip the scooter onto its side, look underneath the kickstand. On the back side, you will see these two nuts. There they are. I'm going to take a pair of needle nose pliers, grab those nuts, and use the Allen wrench on the top side to pull those screws out of those nuts. There's one. Dang it, I dropped it. Okay, you know what, I'll get that later. Now we'll move on to the second one. There we go. Before we move on, I need to make sure I have that other nut back. Wow, I cannot hold on to that today, huh? Now we can take our new kickstand and put it on. We can just take the kickstand, put it flush against the metal, and feed the screws through the holes on the deck. Now you can take those washers, put them on the screws on the backside finger tight. Once both of them are hand tight, I'll take those needle nose pliers, hold onto those nuts, and tighten those screws down. And there we go, the Touring kickstand is replaced. Now let's move on to the Cruiser, which is admittedly a bit more work. See, the thing is that on the inside here, there's going to be a small plate that we use to secure the kickstand to the deck. In order to get to that plate though, we need to remove the U-deck. So let's start with that. Now, as I'm certain many of you are familiar with by now, removing the U-deck is as simple as unscrewing the 6 screws that hold it on. First, remove the 4 screws on the front, and then you can remove these 2 smaller screws on the side. Once all the screws are off, we're going to knock that deck right off. On the side of the scooter, we need to pull all these cables out so that we can reach in. And if you reach in, you might barely be able to feel that plate past the power button. Luckily, I have a visual aid in the form of a second plate, one of the perks of working here. So the 2 screws on this kickstand go through the deck and into this plate on the inside. In the perfect world, we can do this replacement without ever moving this plate. In order to do that, I have this large pair of tongs that I'm going to use to hold the plate in place while I remove these screws. With these tongs rigged up in a spot where I'm confident they will hold the plate, I'm going to unscrew the first screw. And then I'm going to unscrew the second screw. I'm going to be careful to hold onto these tongs now so I can be sure that the plate doesn't move too much. Once the old kickstand's off, we can swap it out. But first, go ahead and slide those screws into the kickstand. Then try to feed those screws into the plate threads. Uh-oh. Uh-oh again. So the bad news is I didn't find those threads. It looks like on the inside, I did end up dropping that plate, and it slid down into the crease of the scooter. I'm going to take those tongs and dig the plate out. Now that I have the plate out, we're going to try this a new way. I mentioned that I need to get these holes matched up with the plate. So I'm going to tape the plate to my tongs and line these holes up manually. So I'll just shove this bad boy in, and I can actually find the threads pretty easy. Let's go ahead and tighten down the first screw and make sure that it is secure. Now I'm going to go ahead and yank these tongs out. Miraculously, I got the tape off with it, which is nice but not at all important. Just makes me feel cool. Now if I reach in again, I can still just barely feel that plate, which is exactly what I want. Now I can take that second screw and tighten that up through the plate just as intended. Now let's tighten both of these down. To wrap this job up, let's put that U-deck back together. First, as always, make sure that all the cable is tucked away nice and neatly. Then we can put the U-deck back on. We can just put those 6 screws right back where they were. First, put all 4 of the front screws back into their original spots. And once they're tightened down, you should be able to reach the threads on the 2 little screws on the sides. And voila! Your Cruiser kickstand has been replaced. Like I said, really easy jobs, the both of these. Just a little bit more time consuming and maybe can get more annoying with the Cruiser, but nothing you can't figure out, I'm sure. We're going to go ahead and leave this video here today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any ideas for other videos you'd like to see us do, go ahead and drop those in the comments down below. If you have any questions or concerns that came up with your scooter while doing this job, leave those in the comments down below too. Also, we just released a vlog for this channel, and it's a new format that we're testing out, and I hope that you'll enjoy that. So go ahead and go check that out if it seems like something you're interested in. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that this video helps, and I hope you enjoy your ride.